I swear, bro, when you're high, bro, this is how everybody be looking at you. It's like everybody knows you're high. Reapers, what's is good? It's your boys reaction content. So here's the top 10 facts about the Beatles. Do Beatles stink? Nah, I'm enjoying reaction content. That button. You subscribe to me, /Bell icon. I'll stream on Twitch, I'll stream music. So boy, let's dive straight in this video.
My name's Danny Burr, you can follow me on Instagram down there, and this is Most Amazing Top 10. It's the channel where we take all kinds of weird and wonderful things from all around the world and put them into a nice little top 10 video so you guys don't have to. And today, we've got the top 10 facts about the Beatles. Now I'm going to presume if you're watching this, you know who the Beatles are. They've been idolised by millions of people now for over half a century, and as a massive fan of the Beatles myself, I can totally see why John, Paul, George and Ringo have inspired so many people. I obviously love the Beatles, but I want to hear from you guys before we get into talking about them. Who is your favourite music act of all time? Is it a band?
My favourite music act of all time is when I saw fucking Travis Scott eat a hamburger on stage.
Is it a person? Who are they? Let me know in the comments below. Alright then, let's get this magical mystery tour on the road with our number 10, which is John Lennon's clone. A Canadian dentist called Dr. 𝐭𝐤𝐴 owns one of John Lennon's teeth and is attempting to clone the singer who has been dead for 35 years. He bought the tooth at an auction in 2011 from a woman who used...
Oh wait, you know that post on my story where it says to all the people I used to know? I should have put that for like every like celebrity. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
To be John Lennon's housekeeper, and she acquired it after he had it removed due to a cavity. Dr. 𝐬𝐿 said he's going to wait for cloning technology to advance so that he can clone John Lennon and raise the little boy as his son. He said he wants to give him guitar lessons, keep him away from cigarettes,
John Lennon,
and drugs. What?
Heroin in my veins, oh fuck yes.
Okay, our number 9 one is actually also a Beatles fact that involves a dentist. I promise they're not all dentist based. It's about LSD laced coffee. It's a well-known fact that the Beatles' use of the psychedelic drug LSD helped shape much of their music in their later years, but they didn't even mean to take it the first time they did.
You were like, later, what are you on right now? I'm just fucked in the head.
George were having dinner at a friend's house in 1965. The man was a dentist who spiked their coffee with LSD when they weren't looking. When they left to go to a nightclub, the drug kicked in and the resulting feeling of euphoria associated with LSD went on to inspire their art, image, and most importantly their music for the next 5 years. Alright guys, I promise you there's no more dentists in this video. If you see one pop up around me, let me know and I'll have them removed. In the meantime, let's look at our number 8, which is the fact that the Beatles concerts sometimes smell of urine.
8 sounds just like Nate. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of 8s everywhere. People are trying to get my attention. I hope you know I'm chilling. I know I'm loved. I love you all.
Yes, that's right guys, although you might have seen the crying fans and heard the screaming fans, you probably haven't smelt their pee. Well, according to a number of sources, the Beatles caused such hysteria in the early days that many of the young teenage fans peed themselves with excitement. Bob Geldof told Q magazine in 2010 that he remembers looking down at the cinema floor and seeing these rivulets of pee in the aisles. He said what he associates most with the Beatles is the smell of girls' urine. Yeah, I prefer to associate them with their fantastic music and just move away from the whole pee thing.
Y'all know when you go to the doctor, you piss in the urine, it's so bloody red. That's normal, right? That means you're hydrated. Right? That means you're hydrated, right?
So let's move on to our number 7, which is that the Pope rates the Beatles. In 2010, Pope Benedict's best ever pop rock album of all time was apparently the Beatles' 1966 album Revolver, according to the Vatican's magazine. The list also contained albums by Michael Jackson, Fleetwood Mac and Oasis. It's not known exactly why the Vatican would select these kind of rock icons who have been known to dabble in drugs, but it does seem to be a little tongue-in-cheek. They said it was meant to give some musical resistance to people during winter and the rising tide of modern music festivals. Ouch, low blow there from the Pope about music festivals.
Bro, give me that death stare. Look at your chin. I love the Beatles, by the way. I love all the members. Where there's 2 left, right? I love the Beatles so much. I love the Beatles. Look at him, bro. He's giving me that. What did I do, Nate? I swear, bro, when you're high, bro, this is how everybody be looking at you. It's like everybody knows you're high. Like you ever just go to a fucking Beatle concert in 2020 50 and then The Beatles start giving you this look. The Beatles are they're still going, right? Just like the Rolling Stones, right? You need help. That gives me the you need help look.
Those their words, not mine. But on to our number 6 now, guys, and it's all about baby George Harrison. It's well known that George Harrison was the youngest member of the Beatles, but it might be surprising to learn that he was just 14 years old when he joined the band. He joined John and Paul in 1958, back when the group was called the Quarrymen. John, the founder of the group, was 17 at the time and wasn't too happy about having a 14-year-old in his band, but couldn't say no after he was very impressed by George's guitar skills during an impromptu audition on top of a double-decker bus. Just remember, guys,
don't be
intimidated by something if you feel too young to do it. George Harrison joined the Beatles when he was 14, so you can do anything. Anyway, time for number 5 now, guys, and it's the Eleanor Rigby coincidence. The melancholic Beatles track Eleanor Rigby.
Beatles. Can I beat my meat?
Paints the rather sad picture of an old woman cleaning up rice after a wedding, who is all alone in life with nobody who loves her. It's a haunting song that has many people asking, who was Eleanor Rigby? Well, Paul said he got the first name from a woman called Eleanor Bron, who helped film the band's movie Help, and a surname from a wine selling company called Rigby and Evans. That's what Paul said, but an amazing coincidence occurred when in the 1980s, the grave of a woman actually called Eleanor Rigby was found in a church in Liverpool where the Beatles are from. In fact, it was only a few meters away from where John and Paul first met in 1957 as teenagers. What do you think, guys? Do you think Paul subconsciously had that name in his head the whole time from when he was a kid?
I swear by my MC, all this guy's saying is blah 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 blah. See you adding random shit to videos. Blah, 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 blah.
It's one massive coincidence. I'll let you figure that one out as we move on to plan number 4, which is the fact that the Beatles broke up at Disney World. When the Beatles broke up in 1970, there was mass hysteria among many of their fans.
Wait, does that say OF? Should I start at OnlyFans? Wait, y'all ever just go to you subscribe to those OnlyFans pages and then they eat Taco Bell and they pour Mountain Dew on their fucking pee-pee?
Across the world, but behind closed doors a few years later, the scene was even more chaotic. George and Paul had assembled in New York with their lawyers to sign the final legal papers that would officially dissolve the band, and Ringo was on the phone. But John, the founder of the group, was nowhere to be seen. John apparently said the stars weren't right for him to come, which made the other members furious. In the end, a lawyer had to bring the massive stack of legal papers that John had to sign to where he was staying, which was the Magical Kingdom at Disney World. It was there that he wrote his name at the bottom of the page, thereby ending the group for good. Disney World, where dreams go to die. Alright, on to our number 3 now, and it's the fact that the song Yesterday used to be called Scrambled Eggs.
Yesterday, bro, I just had French toast this morning, bro. Y'all ever just put you see that there's toilet paper out there? Y'all ever just put your girlfriend's shit on the toilet paper and then you put it on your scrambled eggs and you eat it? Diseases.
It was written by Paul McCartney and has since become one of the most covered songs in the world, with over 4,000 official cover versions of it. Although it's a lot of people's favourite Beatles song, it was originally called Scrambled Eggs. Paul apparently woke up one morning in 1963 with a complete tune in his head, and while making some eggs for breakfast, he added the lyrics "Scrambled eggs, oh you've got such lovely legs, scrambled eggs." Now, fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, if you love scrambled eggs, those lyrics didn't stick. Paul ended up adding his own lyrics to the song, which eventually became Yesterday, and he still maintains it's the best song he ever wrote. So, we're at number 2, and did you know that the Beatles were going to make a Lord of the
Rings, the Beatles? Wait, look at that knife. Oh, he's... Y'all ever just take a dagger up the fucking throat?
movie way back in the 1960s. As strange as it might sound, John Lennon really wanted to turn the Lord of the Rings novels into movies, some 40 years before Peter Jackson brought the trilogy to the silver screen. John had everything planned out and had even begun to cast who would play what. George was to be Gandalf, Paul was going to be Frodo, and Ringo was supposed to be Samwise Gamgee. And what about John himself? Well, John wanted to play Gollum. We want the movie rights, precious. Yeah, I'm glad that never actually happened, because thankfully the author J.R.R. Tolkien said no. So guys, obviously I love the Beatles, but even that was...
Cobblepot, who still smokes out those things? Cobblepot! Cobblepot the fat penguin! Wada. Clap.
A hell of a lot of
They can
trivia.
fly, right?
So let's
Penguins
go
can
over
fly,
what
right?
We've learned that John might be cloned. We've learned that the Beatles ended at Disney World, and we've learned that even the Pope seems to love them. But our number one fact is the Paul McCartney is dead conspiracy. Now, some of you more serious Beatles fans might know this, but a lot of people don't. There is and has been a conspiracy movement for almost 50 years now that Paul McCartney died in the middle of the Beatles' rise to fame. The theory began in 1969 when American college students published an article claiming to show evidence for their theory that the real Paul McCartney was killed in a car accident in 1966, and that the band replaced him with a lookalike to avoid mass hysteria from fans. Apparently, the other members of the band were told to keep quiet, but gave away clues to their fans through their album artwork, as well as in their actual songs. For example, some people say that if you listen to the song Strawberry Fields Forever,
more iconic than my future mugshot photo I'm gonna take,
and you turn the volume right up, at the end you can apparently hear John sing I Buried Paul, but he says he was just saying cranberry sauce, so who knows. Well guys, I'd love to sit here and talk about the Beatles all day, but I can't. So
okay, so this video, enjoy it, which part about the Beatles was new reaction content, more reaction videos, the features need to do. See you next one, peace.